Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody. It's been a while for me getting on camera, so I want to thank Vinny for wanting to give this presentation to you guys. But it's a fairly active week for Believe in Serverless. So we had a presentation yesterday on agentic AI, a paradigm shift in cloud native app development. Recommend taking a look at that. Today, obviously, we're here, and tomorrow, don't miss my live stream with Alan, where we're gonna be playing around with Kiro and seeing if we can build a full stack app. But let's get rolling. So today we have Vini Ganancio from, I'll just say Brazil in general. You can introduce yourself. Fellow Kalian, he's a cloud software architect, recently named AWS ambassador. If you haven't seen him anywhere, you're probably hidden under a rock because he's been doing everything all around Latin America and the web. So, welcome, Vinny. How are you?
Hey, hello Andres. Hi everyone. Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm excited to be here today to talk about a topic that I've been working for a long time right now. I really like that topic, so I'm happy to share with a little bit about with you all. Uh, just about me, I'm from Brazil. More specifically, I'm from São Paulo. I have been working with AWS for almost 10 years now. I'm also former AWS. I have
Mhm.
been a solutions architect there for almost 3 years, and now I'm at Kalen, working as a cloud software architect, developing cool stuff, and uh, most part of my projects are related to generative AI or other AIs in general. Again, thank you very much, Andres, for the invite.
Cool. Yeah,
I
you're
prepared.
obviously working on the fun stuff and Gen AI, and I appreciate you sharing part of what you've learned, and hopefully we can get you back for some other lessons and other things you've learned. So let's get rolling with your presentation. So let me add it to the stage. Here we are. So post any questions you have. We'll be answering those on the spot, right? So make sure to get those out of the way so you can get everything answered.
Yeah, that's correct. The idea is to be more dynamic. I really want to this session can contribute in any means to you that is learning about any kind of the technologies that I'm gonna mention. I I am a kind of specialist. I don't feel 100% comfortable saying that I'm specialist because I know there's so many complicated stuff in that middle. But from a builder perspective, usage, I have been playing with several tools, testing, finding the pros and cons. So yeah, I'm happy to chat about my opinion. For the agenda today, I prepared a overall general context about audio, video, data challenge, and then key components that we use from the toolkit perspective that we could use to extract more insights, more data from this kind of particular kind of data. And then I will share about a study case that I've been working on. And then I will mention about an example and saying about architecture blueprints. So the first thing, we have a challenge nowadays. Uh, the for it's we are aware that the amount of data is growing a lot, and we have several types of data, not only audio data, but we have like clickstream, we have structured data, semi-structured data, and structured data. We have several kind of data, uh, and with that, there are several challenges, but I want to focus more on the audio video data challenge. They are formats without not structured formats. So it's not like a XML or a semi-structured file like a JSON, for example, that you can retrieve data with few lines of comments. With audio and video, you need to make some data pre-processing to extract content from this kind of data. Uh, and There are so many amount of information that live there in the audio video. uh, Not, I can save some examples. For example, in contact centers, imagine several companies have small, medium contact centers, even the big ones. They are receiving a large amount of calls. They have several thousand operators handling the calls and doing manual process to in the CRM, ERP, uh, and some information can be lost in the middle of the way because there are so many things going on real time, especially real time, that we cannot observe 100%. But now with the technologies evolving, especially generative AI and other AI tools, we can handle in a more efficient way this kind of data. We can develop pipelines, make it more automatic to extract the transcription or set labels in the video to understand more what the content is about. There's a lot of data there. It's important for not only for a personal point of view, but also for the companies. I know the agenda today. It's how we generate descriptions from video and audio. But I'm bringing here. It's a business problem that we can also solve with that kind of approach that I'm gonna show here today. So we have large amount of content. We need analyze at scale, and for sure we also need to comply with privacy information. Maybe we will need to do redact from some personal information from the user. This is a challenge, no, and the tools that we have nowadays, they are dealing with it in a so good manner. So we can transform this into an opportunity. Here, I'm gonna start mentioning more technical components that we can use to extract knowledge and make more with that data to generate a useful information. Uh, I will start talking from about the speak to test. Speak to test basically it's a transcription tool. It can transform audio into plain text, and the format can be in several ways. Can be a MP4, MP3, wave file, and other formats. So we can extract in plain English or any other language uh, that is compatible, of course, the text. And with the text, we can make so much different things. For example, we can send as a context to LLM. We can send to a anthropic model like Cloud Sonnet, for example, and say, "Hey, here's the context. There's a audio transcription here, and you can say in the prompt, hey, I understand there's useful information in transcription and some not. For example, like saying, hello, hi, I'm doing well today. Maybe this is not important for the context. It really depends. But you can try to focus on what is the most important part of the audio that I would like to extract. It's maybe it's a user complaining about a specific product from your company, or saying mm, ma- uh, saying good things about your product or about your video. You can extract that, and then you can use that on the LLM to generate a response based on the context plus the prompt instructions. So this is the two important components. We will also need to store the video in somewhere, and it's important to have a cost efficient data storage here, because video formats, they are not known for be the most compact ones. It depends, of course, in the length, in the resolution, but typically they are gonna be heavier than a plain text file. And we can also combine with computer vision. So, for example, we can send a video and analyze visual contents, and try to set labels like, hey, there's a car in that image, in that in that in that image, right on the time in the video. So sorry, I was trying to say in the frame. So in doing we can analyze the frames and say, hey, there's a car, there's a bike, there's a tree right here, and maybe that can be useful information, again, all for the context. And then we can combine the speech to test and the computer vision, uh, and send both of things to the LLM. And we have different scenarios. For example, if we are talking about a video, the video can, maybe it can have audio or not. Maybe it's just uh, someone recording landscape, green field, but not saying any word. So speech to text is not going to work to generate a transcription or to generate a description from that video. We will need computer vision. So that's why the two elements, they are the most important components here in terms of the context to provide to the LLM. And now, if it's a snippet of a movie, we have that we have people talking. We also have the video. We can use both, so that's great. But now, if it's a call, we only have the audio, and we should use the speech to test as the tool to extract the text and provide as a context to the LLM. I want to showcase an example for a company that I've been working. They are one of the biggest printer companies in the world, I can say. They have a very, very large contact center. Only for Americas, they support, they handle over 80,000 calls per month. And the agents, they have 1,000 of agents, and they are receiving calls. Maybe they are multitasking. The same time they are talking with other clients in chats, and they have several tabs in the browser open. It's, you can imagine, it's not easy job, handling so many information at once. So part of the information can be lost. And from the analytics perspective, that's no good. We need to extract as much information as we can, considering we live in the data time. Information is competitive advantage against my competitors, so it's important to receive that information. And they are manually entering data in ERP, CRMs. They are trying to do classifications of the issues in the real time. They are writing documentation, resolution of the case. So not easy again. And we can automate part at least part of that journey. I'm not saying it's going to replace all the human, but at least first call, the first call level, validating information, or at least being a co-pilot during a call, making notes, filling information automatically into the ERP, trying to classify the issue type. That it's going to make the efficiency and the productivity of the agent even better. So it's a win-win. So for that client specifically, we implemented a whole pipeline where all the calls were processed in batch, uh, in a specific time window, and we received several calls, and then we processed these calls with AI agent, and then the agent behind the scenes, he was doing like generating the transcription, sending to LM, extracting the key components, saving a more suitable format like a JSON, a semi-structured file, and then trying to, at the best as he can, classify the issue, and then write a resolution of the case. And it worked pretty well. And we were also were able to retrieve information like agent productivity, client satisfaction, if the client was not patient but in the end of the call. So that was kind of information that the leadership team, for example, didn't have. So it was very important to understand more about the call center demand, and how they can enhance their call center. And what is cool to this customer, we were also using the calls, the transcriptions, the data that we were creating semi-structured files. We were also creating a knowledge base. So that was so much fun because we were learning by experience. Like, hey, imagine we have a first client, and he's complaining about a printer A, for example, and then the resolution is the same, is exactly the same thing, exactly the same complaint that this client has. Then client C, for example, saying that he has the same problem, and we can try to make a shortcut like, hey, other clients are having a similar problem. Take a look at this way to solve the problem. Maybe it can boost a lot the efficiency in the call center. And of course, the client will like a lot of that as well. Some benefits using these tools. We reduced call handling time. We have higher accuracy in the uh, previously in the manual entries that we have in the ERP. Now with the support of the AI, we are having more information in the ERP, fewer errors. We are processing more data and in a more efficient way. As I said, we also provided agent performance visibility, and we can lower costs. And this is I would say in 90% of the case, this is one of the most important pieces for every single company. The contact center, it's a very expensive structure every company has. And it's important to always try to lower operational costs uh, through reducing call handling time, the average length of the call, avoiding receiving so many calls about the same problem. So that can help as well from the cost perspective. It's an important approach. Okay, now talking about some solutions and not limiting on AWS scope. I've tested a couple of solutions like speak to test. I tested Amazon Transcribe, tool from Amazon. I also tested DeepGrant and OpenAI Whisper. Uh, they're they are so good tools. Each one, I would say, they have pros and cons. Like DeepGrant is my favorite. I, uh, I tested their solution for the first time 2 years ago, and I was like, "Hey, this is great!" And the price is also great. The quality of the transcriptions, the response time is pretty decent, and it's very easy to implement. Like I can use their SDK, and they are specialists in the speak to test solution. Amazon Transcribe is also good. It works with batch API REST calls, but also it has the WebSocket streaming features. Uh, Support several types of formats. I have only two things that I didn't like too much on Amazon Transcribe. The first one is costs. I think their Amazon Transcribe's competitors have more efficient costs, and I would say their documentation is not the best. I found several outdated information, which made so hard to implement a simple solution that I had to search in the deep GitHub repository to find useful information to implement what I wanted using streaming. I didn't have this problem with DeepGrant, so that's why I think it's my favorite. Their documentation's pretty good, pretty good. I also tested OpenAI Whisper. It's a pretty good and decent solution, but it doesn't have so many built-in features as the other tools. Uh, but it's a different proposal. It's an open source tool. All the other ones, they are proprietary tools offering from Transcribe and offering from Amazon and DeepGrant. OpenAI Whisper, it's from open source tool from OpenAI that you can build on top and build your own features. Like, uh, for example, if you wanna control hallucination, redact information, or if you want to like adherence control, you have to build by yourself. Okay, the community is, I would say it's a large community, but you have the work to manage by your own. Some model integrators like Hugging Face, you have the API offerings to use Whisper. Even with Amazon Bedrock, you can also use Whisper. But you have the option to self-hosting in your local machine if you want, or in a powerful machine with a GPU, which you, of course will be better. Uh, Data storages, I would recommend having a, as I mentioned previously, cost efficient storage like Amazon S3. It's very, very cheap. So we can store several hundred of gigabytes that the cost is not going to be an uh, very, very expensive, like prohibiting. But the data storage you can select by your own. Computer vision, OpenCV, it's one of the most famous libraries and frameworks, open source frameworks that we have. Uh, I've played with it a lot. It's good because the community is so big. You have so many information, documentation about how to start with OpenCV. But again, you need to build some of the things by your own. I've been using Amazon Recognition, which is Amazon offering. It's a computer vision application for images and videos that you can retrieve useful information. And the LLM, it's up to you. Definitely, I've used a lot of them like Cloud, GPT, Yama, Nova. My favorite one at the moment, and I say at the moment because they are evolving so fast, it's Cloud Sonnet 4. I think it's pretty decent, works great. The cost is also very balanced with the performance.
We have a good comment from Daryl saying, "I think we'll see still see use of many purpose-built AI ML, right? Just like recognition going forward compared to using Gen AI models, but everyone wants to use Gen AI tools for everything, right? So I completely agree with that, right? It's if there's a purpose-built tool, AI ML tool, it's you're probably going to be better off than just trying to have any general LLM trying to do it.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. Like uh, when sometimes when I'm presenting these topics about agents, presenting the technical components behind the scenes, some people come talk to me at the end like, "Hey, do you know that solution? It does everything that you were saying, but it's like a black box." And I say, "Hey, that's great. I know some of these solutions. I know their offerings, uh, and I'm not here to say what is good or not. I understand that it matters in terms of flexibility, pricing, what you want to achieve. You can use definitely a a black box if that works for you. If you want to use a voice to voice agent, a conversational agent from any company, but maybe you are gonna face a limitation like, hey, I cannot customize some specific parameters of that agent, and then you're gonna say, hey, that's not useful. Generally, companies they need a lot of flexibility, and the tools that we are talking here, like Dario pointed, these are the components that these other tools are also using. So we are seeing all the components behind the scenes using that other tools. We just don't manage them. And I think I agree with what you said. There's like using specialized tools in one thing. It's the best thing because they are good at what they propose to do. So you can make your own orchestration and then using the best components like a building blocks. That's why I like AWS from the builder perspective, building the blocks, using different solutions, trying, playing with different solutions. That's one of the great things. And now, especially talking about serverless solutions, what I really like on serverless solutions, they allow me to try a solution very fast. I mean, I don't need to spin up a server to use Amazon recognition. It's an API call. It's an API REST call. So it's so easy. I mean, for example, if I were starting at a computer vision like today, maybe using OpenCV at first would be a little bit frustrating. Like, hey, I cannot create a square in the image right here and try to detect some labels. But with Amazon recognition, you just send an API call and it automatically will detect several things for you. I understand Amazon recognition has pros and cons. Again, there are some limitations that the Amazon offer in terms of recognizing some things, but it does a pretty solid job. It's pretty good. So I think in the future maybe we'll see more companies focusing on that specialized tools instead of using Gen AI models. And again, you can use Gen AI tool for everything, but it's not gonna be fun enough like using all the tools behind the scenes by your own. Some tips that I have for you all using LLM, speech to text, efficient data storage, and computer vision. About the LLM, think about complexity and budget. Don't make it complicated. Speak to tests, evaluate accuracy, latency, language support. For the data storage, think on leveraging a tiered storage for cheaper implementations. And computer vision, it really depends on the image complexity and processing requirements. Okay, Vinny, but where should I start right now? The first thing we need to have a video or audio file. And for the sake of this presentation demonstration, we are gonna concentrate everything in Amazon S3. Of course, you can automate doing API calls, download the video at real time. But I created a sample solution that basically I'm just uploading a video in S3, Amazon S3, and then triggering it through an API to make a analysis. So that's the solution that I wanted to go through you all. I'm not sure if everyone's familiar with AWS toolkits, so I'll do my best to be concise and try to explain this is doing. So we have uh, we have the S3 bucket, which basically it's object storage. I have a video in there, MP4 file, and then I'm triggering API. This is a API manager, and then the API manager is triggering a function, and then this function is seeing the type of requests. If it's to start a new job, retrieve the status of the job, or evaluate the results. And I also have another Lambda that is orchestrating all the other service. And again, these are all this is a serverless architecture. I didn't need to spin up any service by my own managed servers. The architecture is pretty solid, robust. It can scale out very well without being worried with managing infrastructure. So it's that's the beauty of the doing with serverless. So my this orchestrator Lambda function is the first thing is sending requests asynchronously to Amazon Recognition Video to generate the labels from my video, and also sending a job to Amazon Transcribe to generate the transcription. Then I am gonna concatenate everything as a context and send to Amazon Bedrock, which is our entry point, a model router, more generic term, for any LLM that the service offers to us. I'm using Cloud Sonnet to write the video descriptions, and I'm saving everything in DynamoDB, which is a key value database. So let me pause my screen share for 1 second. I would like to share my screen.
I'll pop
If you have
back in.
any question in the meantime, please feel free to drop your question.
So are you going to show basically that the implementation
Yes.
you just showed?
Yeah.
Cool. We love seeing real stuff.
Yeah. I know.
So in the case in the diagram, you had two linked Lambda functions, right? The first one you said is a router, right? So basically, finding the type of request to then send it. In this case, to this Lambda function that's doing these things, but you might have other processing functions that you can do
Exactly.
separately. Okay.
Correct. So uh, let me start showing I have a S3 bucket right here. I have several S3 buckets. But this one, I have some videos right here. Videos that I download from YouTube. So let me show these videos just for example. The first one,
That's a good one.
this is a song.
Yep.
The second one, it's
Okay.
a snipped out Forrest Gump movie.
It's a good one. It's a
And
good one.
the third one, it's just a green field without doesn't have any audio in there. So we have some situations right here where I would say three different situations. Um, so I have a API right here. I have some endpoints like analyze where I can send a video. I can send in the payloads the location in my S3 buckets where the video is hosted, and then I can check the results and the status of the video processing.
Cool. Can you
This
zoom
is
in
the
a little
Lambda
bit?
function. Yes.
A couple more clicks and I think we're good.
Okay.
There you go. That's
What about
perfect.
now? Perfect. So I have this first Lambda function, which basically, as you said, Andres, it's checking the request in the API gateway. For example, if it's analyze, then we are gonna handle analyze and send a body. If it's checking the status, I'm gonna retrieve the status for the job ID. Or if I'm trying to retrieve the results, I'm gonna check the result for this job parameter. I also have these functions implemented in API handler, but I this code is also is it's all in a public repo. I can share with you all, so you can take a look at the implementation details later. Uh, and this is the second Lambda function that I was showing. This is the orchestrator. This Lambda function is basically saying, hey, I received a new request to analyze a video. So let's start processing it. The first thing I'm gonna send a request to Recognition to start generating the labels, and then in the same time as I'm gonna send a request to Amazon Transcribe to start generating the transcription. And I have a Bedrock client here. When I have both informations, I'm gonna send as a context with a prompt like, "Hey, you are a video analyzer expert. Please generate a video description for the context in audio and video," and then the LM will handle that. So basically, that's the implementation. That's everything that is doing. I it takes some minutes to process all this information. So for the sake of the demonstration, I'm gonna let me share some of the logs right here. If I
You can zoom
can,
out if you want, so it can.
yeah, I think it's
There you
going to
go.
be.
Leave it one more zoom, and I think it fits. Yeah, there.
Yeah, so I added some logs to make sure we can see step by step what's going on. So up here, it's the entry point, started processing a video, then is checking if there is a cache. For example, if this video was already processed to avoid costs. As I said, Amazon Transcribe, it's not a cheap service, so be careful if you're gonna run this service in your own account. We are checking if the object exists in S3 bucket, and then we are starting the Amazon Recognition parallel analysis, Recognition plus Amazon Transcribe. And then the two jobs will be running at the same time. So here you can see recognition step, transcribe step, and then they take some time to finish run. So you need to wait. And then we are doing some pre-processing, like, hey, we are checking in some specific periods, like, hey, has it finished processing? Can I use that information? And if so, I'm gonna store in DynamoDB. So here I'm identifying the file formats. It's basically Amazon Transcribe doing it work. Amazon Recognition started detecting some labels. It also has a fun feature to recognize celebrities. And then also it does moderation for the content, and then it finishes. So here it does some more job about labels, and then it's going to finish right here. What is the output of all of that? We have middle outputs and we have final outputs. As the middle outputs, we are gonna have a transcription JSON, like this one. I downloaded one for you all to take a look. This is a JSON from Amazon Transcribe. So here's the from the snippet of the video Amazon from Forrest Gump video. So here's the entire transcription for the snippet. But we also have fun, great features like we have the segments where we can have more detailed information, like when it started, who was the speaker, the accuracy of the transcription. It's a pretty good job. To make my life easier, I'm just using that information. But if it was a robust implementation, we can use more detailed information like that. So that's a sample output from Amazon Transcribe. Uh, we also have an output from Amazon Recognition that is very similar from that one, but instead of storing it in S3, I'm storing it in DynamoDB. Let me pick one right here. This one, and then let me show my screen.
There it is.
Let me try to save showing a more appropriate format. JSON. Okay, so we can see several things like here, like nature, land, outdoors, vegetation, woodland, and take a look at the accuracy, 100%. Come on, that's great. It's doing a very good job. And that, let me go back in that Lambda function right here, Bedrock client. Well, let me open my Visual Studio instead. Here I have this prompt. I'm saying, hey, you are expert video content analyzer. Generate an engaging 2-3 sentence description for a video based on the analysis data below. And then I have the instructions. And then everything that I'm doing here below, I'm appending information that I have from the transcription. If I have the transcription, if it's not empty, I'm gonna append the transcription. And if I have the video content, I'm also gonna append right here. So that's what everything that I'm appending right here in that section. Visual, there we are. And then I'm sending the context, the prompts that I showed to you, to the LLM. And then we have the first results. Let's see. It finished processing. Oh, I didn't show the API for you. Sorry. So how do we use that solution? We can. I have the API gateway deployed right here through Terraform, and then I'm sending payload like the key of the object in my S3 bucket. Let me send again. I started processing, and then I have a job ID, and then I can double check if that is in process, if finished. Oh, we completed. It completed because it has cache. I already processed it a little bit earlier. And then results, then I can see the results right here. So this is the video description for the video that I showed to you about. There isn't anyone talking anything in the video. Just from the Amazon Recognition, the visual computer vision solution, we are generating this transcription. And we can tweak that transcription a lot. Like, hey, we can make it more concise, avoid certain kind of words, these kind of things. Uh, the other ones, they are pretty funny. I I I wanted I let them because I also wanted to you laugh with me for this one, for the descriptions. Let me. This is the song. So you don't understand that is a video from Rick Astley, but it's understanding as a clone from the singer. So I was like, oh my god, you didn't understand. It's the same person in the video. Uh, so we need to tweak the prompts. I didn't say it was perfect. It works. That's the point. Of course, you need some prompt engineering job right here. And for the Forrest Gump, let me pick this one. We can use right here. There we go. Uh, this is the description we generated from the snippet of video. Again, we have some things that are, I don't know why it's here. Maybe it appeared something on the image despite the content or warnings for violence. We can
That's
improve that
interesting.
way a lot with the prompt engineering. But
And
that's the basis.
this is generated from the agent, right? So you can easily modify the initial prompt you give to the agent to, hey, do a better
Yeah,
job identifying real celebrities. It's not a
yeah.
doppelganger.
I didn't spend like, hey, uh several hours. I would say I spent like 15-10 minutes with the prompts. So I said, oh, I'm having the first results. Like, hey, I have a description right here. We can tweak that a lot. And I think uh, that's a great opportunity for generating video descriptions, considering we have a large amount of content in audio, videos right now. I don't know. Maybe YouTube can sponsor me, and I can invest more time on that one. What do you think, Andres?
I think you got the money. They'll give it to you.
uh, all right. Any questions, folks? Thank you very much for staying so far, watching me. It was a pretty fun session. I really hope that I could contribute in any means to your learning. Feel free to reach out to me, drop a message. Um, I can definitely help. Oh, just one thing before we finish here. Let me show the repo that I've
Yeah.
been working on. It's that one. Is it possible to send in the chat? I'm not sure.
You can send it to me and I can share it in the chat.
Okay, let me stop my
We have a
screen share.
Yeah, we have a private chat, so you can you can share it in the chat, I guess, and you can put it might sign you out. I don't know if
Okay.
you're signed into.
Oh,
Here it is.
just I shared with you in the Slack.
Yep,
So if you could share with,
there it is.
perfect. There we
Yeah,
go.
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, it's all about agents, right? I guess that's your dog. It's all about agents right now, and it doesn't have to be, right? There's still the specialized tools out there. So you have one agent, but you still have recognition doing the recognition and just the agent doing some of the work. Um, so again, we get hyper focused into one specific set of technology, but some of that's already been solved. You don't need to reinvent the wheel and create your own agent for I don't know, recognizing celebrities from a picture or a video, right? There's a service for that. So I go back to the keep it simple, don't reinvent the wheel, use someone more specialized than you already did. But yeah,
Don't
here's
delegate
Aaron.
everything to the LLM. Yeah.
And yeah, that's a great example of using serverless services on AWS to build really useful solutions, right? To
Thank you, Dario. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, we record a lot of videos here for Believe in Serverless, right? You would think by now we would have an automated way to just update the caption on a video after the event has happened. So this is a good way, like, hey, pull the transcription from the video on YouTube and start doing a description, update the description using YouTube APIs. Maybe there's a YouTube MCP server that we can use that we can have an agent communicate with to update my videos. Many things come to mind, but thanks a lot for the presentation, the demo, the context before the demo. Very useful information. I'm sure a lot of people will benefit from this. So appreciate you being on Believe in Serverless.
Thank you very much, Andres. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.